Elvis Presley played his final performance at the Market Square Arena in Indianapolis, Indiana on June 26, 1977. It's crazy to me that after 45 years, mystery and intrigue still shroud the death of Elvis Presley. Was it a drug overdose? Was it a heart attack? Did he fake his death? Is he still alive? Or was it something else? In today's video, we're going to talk about a significant contributing factor that is completely overlooked. Elvis was suffering from a traumatic brain injury. Watch any video you find here on YouTube about Elvis' final days and they all say the same thing. He was on a break between performing and going on tour. He had gone to the dentist, he was playing some racquetball, played some piano. He went to the bathroom to read The Scientific Search for the Face of Jesus, took some pills, and the rest is history. Absolute mind-numbing history I cannot stand again. In his article addressing Elvis' traumatic brain injury, or TBI, Dr. Forrest Tennant, the physician hired to assist in a case to convict Dr. Nicopolis, Elvis' main prescribing physician, found himself embedded in a study of Elvis's drug addiction, pain, and medical problems. Ever since Elvis has been pronounced dead, the focus has been on a heart attack or his drug abuse, but there has been no attention paid to the actual underlying causes as to why Elvis was in pain. According to the investigation of Elvis medical records, it would appear that the king was pretty healthy until the last 10 years of his life, wherein the last 3 years he required around-the-clock nursing care. Thanks to advancements in modern medicine and the understanding of traumatic brain injuries, Dr. Tennant was able to piece together evidence that Elvis was suffering from a traumatic brain injury. Of course, the brain injury is independent, but in tandem with heart disease and the drug use, along with Elvis's atrocious appetite. The major findings of Elvis's autopsy report was the severity of his cardiovascular disease. His heart was nearly double the normal size and had significant atherosclerosis, a cottage cheese-like buildup. Pathologists also tested Elvis' blood and found that he had hypogammaglobulinemia, which is a disorder of the body's immune system. Lastly, the 10 different substances found in Elvis's toxicology report would show that in addition to morphine, methaqualone, and diazepam, Elvis also had 10 times the therapeutic range of codeine in his system that was prescribed from the dentist he saw shortly before his death. According to Tinnit, what we didn't know in 1977 is that codeine must be converted to morphine to provide pain relief. So if the liver is deficient and doesn't make the conversion, codeine can accumulate to toxic levels, causing cardiac arrhythmia. Something else we've learned based on medical records is that Elvis was allergic to codeine, which is arguably a significant overlooked factor considering the amount that was in his system. Dr. Nick, in his 10 plus years of service to Elvis, which started in 1965, would state Elvis was never the same after he hit his head in 1967. He had tripped and hit his head on the bathtub in his hotel room in Las Vegas and was unconscious for an undetermined amount of time. It was the most major blow, but definitely not the first that he had withstood. It's now recognized in medical science that multiple head traumas are cumulative and can lead to autoimmune inflammatory disorders which can attack any organ in the body. Dr. Tinnit continues that it is believed head trauma causes brain tissue to be jarred loose and leak into the general circulation through the blood-brain barrier. Brain tissue is toxic to the rest of the body, therefore it acts like an infection, causing antibodies to form. Autoantibodies attack at random. One day the heart, the next day the eyes, and if we look at a list of Elvis organs involved in his autoimmune disorder, we can support this claim. He was suffering from eye, liver, kidney, spine, colon, lung, heart, and stomach problems. So it's arguable that Elvis Presley's legendary drug use was just a way for him to treat all the individual pains he was feeling in his body. It's worth noting that Elvis experienced 4 overdoses before his death. These experiences would have exacerbated his brain damage due to lack of oxygen. Unfortunately, it's only recently that there has been an understanding on head trauma, and the behaviors such as reclusivity, OCD, paranoia, hostility, peculiar sex habits, poor hygiene, and drug use, all of which Elvis Presley were displaying in the later years of his life, including flying to Colorado from Tennessee to get sandwiches or not bathing for an extended period of time, long enough to develop sores on his body. Dr. Tinnit reiterates that his traumatic brain injury was in tandem with his megacolon, hypertension, and other genetic problems, but the pain for which he was taking the drugs and the erratic behaviors aforementioned can arguably be rooted in compounded head traumas. So is Elvis still alive? No, I don't think so. But I don't think it was any one thing that caused him to pass away at the age of 42. It was the culmination of several factors, but instead of beating a dead horse with the story of Elvis's last days, I think it's important to attempt to understand the underlying cause of why Elvis was in pain and displaying erratic and compulsive behaviors. Those signs point to a traumatic brain injury. An interesting fact I learned while researching this story is that after Elvis suffered his head injury in his Las Vegas hotel room, he was flown back to Memphis to recover. During his recovery, he would see apparitions of his deceased mother in her old bedroom. If you like this video, please show your support with a fried, subscribe, and like sandwich. And remember, the next time you are reading on the toilet, time waits for no man.